That was the best thing my dad ever did for me. So I am a child of a single mom. And my mom's here. Hi, Mama. Hey. Now, my life includes traveling in an Airstream. That's my life, y'all. I travel full-time in an Airstream with my mom and stimulation from the beautiful sights that we get to see and feeling calm energy. So my mom started doing these date nights with me, right? They were so awesome. Like, I'm a little kid, super interested in her makeup bag and her nail polishes. And she's noticing this and she's like, you know what? I want you to feel like you can have fun with this. And I want us to connect. Because my siblings, I was the baby and the only child all at one time. So by the time I could appreciate them, they were already gone. So it was just the two of us. And what we did is we would play in her makeup bag. And I was allowed to play however I wanted to with her makeup bag inside the house. And I'm talking, there was blue on my cheeks. There was all kinds of party happening on my face. And we had a ball. We would listen to her oldies on vinyl, and she'd have my favorite little treats. And it was the best time. And what happened in these moments of bonding was I started to have a love for all things beauty. So now my job at age 8 was mowing the grass for extra money, right? That's how I earned allowance and extra money. Now here's the thing. I was living in Central Florida using a push mower on half an acre. Y'all, it was hot. It was so hot. And I didn't want to be out in the heat. So I'm out there just mowing, wondering how I can keep this beauty thing going on more than just the weekend date nights. So I'm out there on my mower and I'm like, I wonder if Mom will let me start painting her nails and charging money. Maybe she'll let me come inside and not have to stay out here. I wonder if when I finish this job up, she'll go for it. So I go inside and I said, hey, Mom. She's like, what's up? I'm like, if I painted your nails and did a great job and charged you money, would you pay me? And she said, oh. She said, well, it would have to be good because if I'm going to pay you money, you've got to pay attention to detail. And I thought, all right, you're giving me a chance. I said, well, I would love to try. And so I started building a business at age 8. And this business, y'all, blew up. All of a sudden, everybody's coming over to get their nails painted. Everyone's coming over now and bringing over their box colors. All of my friends' moms are bringing them over and they're like, you can get that hairline really tight because your attention to detail. I'll give you $5 if you do mine. Yes, I will. And then before I knew it, I'm cutting hair. Now, who's trusting an 8-year-old with scissors? Everybody, all of them, they're all lined up and they're like, me next. Because I was given a chance to be me. And I was just flowing and having fun. There was so much joy coming through me. And so I continue on. And then I made it, y'all. I graduated high school and I made it to the mall. I got my first full-time makeup job at the mall and I had made it. And I was so happy to be there, so proud. But here's the thing, I'm painting faces and getting paid for it and loving it. And then management starts to notice my attention to detail. And they say, you know, you would do very well in retail management. You can make a lot of money. And I said, oh, really? Oh, yeah. You could be on track to make 6 figures. Oh, really? That was the beginning of the wrong path. I went down that wrong path looking for money instead of following my joy. Have y'all ever been there where you made a decision because you're like, oh, this is going to be fantastic. I will have all this money and then I can do whatever I want. Now at 18, I was like, oh, I can take all my friends out to dinner and I can go on all these road trips and it's going to be wonderful. But that's not how it works out. It never goes the way you think it's going to go. Because I actually had to work every weekend and late nights and holidays. And I wasn't doing the thing I loved anymore. And so now I am being recruited from all these companies. So I'm going here, going there. My pay is going up, my joy way down. And I'm feeling it. And I'm kind of wondering, what happened to me? What happened to me? I used to love doing this art, but now I'm doing this other job. And so I get a great position at a big box retailer. And the person I beat out for the job works at the store. Awkward. They're there. But now here's the thing, the folks that hired me, they banked on the fact that the employees would help me do my job. By the way, the job that I don't know how to do. But they also banked on the fact that I'm a fast learner. Well, y'all, it didn't work out like that. I'm miserable at my job. Miserable at this job. And I walk in to the stockroom. And they didn't hear me. Because fun fact about me, I'm a ninja. They didn't hear me. So I walk in and I go, what's that? And I hear them talking about me. Y'all, they were talking about me. And I hear them say, I can't stand her. She doesn't know how to do this job. And why does she always look like she's ready to go to a party? So you know what I did? I just backed out of that stock room as quietly as I went in there because I had no leg to stand on because they were right about all of it. I didn't know how to do the job and I did always look like I was going to a party, even wearing khakis. So I'm in this space of feeling so much hurt. I couldn't believe this was happening to me. And I clock out, and thankfully I had the next 2 days off. And I held my tears inside, and I made it to my car, and then I started crying. And I didn't stop crying. I went home, and I'm crying, and my roommate's like, are you okay? And I was like, they were talking about me. They were so mean. I don't know how to do my job. And I was in so much pain. Have y'all ever been there? Yes. Have y'all ever been there where you're just feeling like, well, how did I get here? And so that's when I cried out. Can I get an ah, miracles? Ah, miracles. And I called out and I said, what has happened to me? Please, please, God, help me. Please. I don't feel like I'm supposed to be here. Nobody wants me to be here. And I don't know where I'm supposed to be. And in that state of confusion, I put a prayer out and I said, if I'm going the wrong direction, send me a sign. Have y'all ever prayed the send me a sign prayer? So I upped the ante. You ready? I upped the ante on this prayer and I said, if I am not getting the sign that you're sending me, drop a box on my head and make sure that I don't miss it. So I go back to work after my 2 days off and I brave the pain and I go to work and I'm looking at my list of things of how to build this display that I'm supposed to build. Because that's my job now, y'all. I build displays in my khakis, looking like I'm going to a party. And I'm trying to figure out how to build it. And a customer comes over and runs into my ladder, my 20-foot ladder that is holding my box of peg hooks. This 20-pound box of peg hooks on this 20-pound ladder, or 20-foot ladder, gets hit and falls as if there were a bullseye on my head. Perhaps I put the bullseye there on my head with that prayer. And let me say that I also kind of wish I would have prayed for a pillow. So I have 3 ruptured discs in my C-spine. I no longer work there because there's something called workers' comp. And once you get hurt on your job, you no longer work there. So clearly I was not meant to be there. So I'm in the doctor's office and I'm waiting for the results of what's going on. So the doctor comes in and he says, wow, you really did a number on yourself. You have 3 ruptured discs. And we also found something else. Okay, what did you find? We found a tumor. A what? Excuse me? We found a tumor. And based on its location, we're not going to be able to biopsy. You have an inoperable brain tumor. Then he says, we cannot offer any options, but one thing we do know for sure is that stress accelerates your symptoms. So don't stress out. Bye. And then he leaves me on the table with that news. And I was like, no, don't leave. I have so many questions. Do you have a prescription for how to not stress out? A life tip? A life hack, maybe something. Nothing. So then I start on this journey of figuring out how to live with this news. Don't stress out. So I go to a specialist and I start trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. But y'all, the story gets even wilder. Y'all ready for me to up it? Can we handle it? Give me a miracles. Miracles. Then I get in a car accident 2 months later. Come on, right? What is happening? 2 months later, a teenager wants to get their car washed, not looking, runs right into me. So I avoid a head-on collision because I'm paying attention. So now my back's hurt, my neck's hurt, I got this thing in my head. Don't stress out. No information on how not to. But it's really hard not to. Because I'm feeling really sad. Because all this is happening and I'm in pain. So I just do the best job I can do of going to the specialist and being a great patient. And I go in with hope in my heart that they're going to have an option. And we go through, okay, this is this and this is that, okay. And they tell me, there's just nothing we can do. Okay. Go to the next one, on and on. And then I go to this one neurologist, and he's looking at me kind of crazy as I'm going through all the information. He's looking at me, and I'm like, what? Why are you looking at me like that? And he says, "You're just telling this to me as if you've accepted this." I was like, "Yeah, it's the diagnosis." And he says, and he gets right in my eyes, looks at me and says, "You don't want this." And I got chills because I knew it wasn't that doctor speaking to me. He looks back at me. "You don't want this." And all I could do was repeat it back to him. "I don't want this. I don't want this. Whoa, I don't want this." So then I leave there with a new mindset. On my 2-hour drive home, I keep repeating to myself, "I don't want this. I don't want this." I had never thought about that I didn't want this. I thought this is just what it is now. So now I have an idea of how to not stress out. And it starts with not wanting this. So I go to the library and I double down on this, y'all. I've got all the books on how to be different because I didn't know how. Y'all ever been there when you don't know what you don't know yet?
It's like Alice in Wonderland. She thought she changed, but she didn't know as much stuff.
Right. So wise. And I'm figuring this stuff out, and I realize. So I leave the doctor's office, right? On that path home, and I get to my house. The next day, guess what's on the news? The next day, it's everywhere. Guess what's on the news? It's not me. Don't worry, it's not me. It's not me.
Trump's in town.
No. The Secret. I'm gonna take y'all back to 2006. Do y'all remember The Secret? The next day, The Secret is launched and it's everywhere. The Secret, no. And I thought, I don't know what it's about, but I definitely need to be in alignment with that because people are changing their lives. If you've seen The Secret, read The Secret, people had medical conditions that they were reversing. They're changing their thoughts and then changing their way of being. And so I thought, if they can do it, I definitely can do it. I'm good at things. I can do this. Okay. So I kept working on it. I made a vision board of all the things I wanted because that's what you do. And I remembered that I used to really love doing makeup. Because what I also learned in The Secret was that people followed their joy. Oh, I remember those days when I used to follow my joy. So I put makeup on my vision board. And you know what else I put on my vision board? Paula Deen. Y'all know Paula Deen?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Mouth of the South, butter and all. Put her on my vision board. And I decided I was going to go to Savannah and live like I was dying. Going after it, going out with guns blazing, and doing all I could do to follow my joy again, to do the things that made me feel really good, no longer doing things because money was attached to it. So I decided to go to Savannah, and guess who I meet the first day I'm in Savannah?
Paula?
No, not Paula, I gotcha. I gotcha. I meet Josh, Fritz,
Yeah.
my partner and everything.
Oh, great.
My childhood friends invited me to move to Savannah, be their roommate, and he was the roommate they didn't tell me about. So guess what, y'all? Fun fact, we've lived together since we met. So I'm now doing makeup. The word is out. Business is good. I am out there doing things, working with Paula, because then she comes into the story too. I manifested her, gave her no choice but to show up. And I'm working, doing my thing, but here's the thing, my back can't keep up because remember, I got a car accident, my neck is hurt, all this stuff. So I end up going to India to repair my back. That's a great story I'll tell you later. So now I have a new lease on life. And I hit it hard, and I'm really going after everything, and everything on that vision board is coming true. Everything on my dream list is coming true. And then I realized I actually thought this was gonna feel different. I thought that it was gonna feel better, more exciting actually. Have y'all ever been there? When you get the thing that you wanted, and then it doesn't feel the way you thought it was gonna feel? Yeah, let's get on miracles on that one. Oh, miracles. That can also feel like confusion, because you feel like I should be grateful for what I have. I should be happy. And some may call it self-sabotage, where you're not allowing yourself to be happy. But I'd like to introduce a different idea. Perhaps it's a higher calling, pulling you forward, letting you know that you made it here and keep going. And that's what happened to me. In my story, I kept moving forward. Makeup was just the thing to get my attention, to help me find my joy again, to feel better. And then I decided, oh, I want to actually go into the wellness world and start helping others to feel better. How did this work? How did this positive thinking work and make me feel better? I wanted to learn more about that. So I dug deep into that world and allowed myself to learn something new. And through that process, I became a mom. I became a full-time caregiver to my mom that has Alzheimer's. And this work has allowed me to become present. So being calm in all of these situations, finding my joy, has led me here to being able to be present, to being whole, to being joyful, to being happy. And that's what it's all about. So when we're calling out for love, we're really calling out to the love that we are. It's a calling out and a receiving all at the same time. All I was doing was calling out for love and following what I felt was right. And as I'm following what felt right, I kept feeling more love. I kept stepping out, trusting, feeling love holding me, knowing that these miracles are all acts of love. That's what a miracle is. So as I'm reaching out, I'm calling out, I'm grabbing onto love that's holding me. So before I close, I want y'all to pull out your phones. I know, we're in church. What? Pull out your phones, pull out your phones. What I want you to do is I want you to, we may have a slide, and for our friends at home, maybe you can see this, but if you don't see the slide, there's a QR code on the slide. I want you to go to themiraclelab.org, and I'm going to give you a gift. So themiraclelab.org. Oh, sorry, it's C, is it CA?
Yeah.
CA dot, because y'all are special. We're in Canada, yay. So ca.themiraclelab.org. You should see the homepage. And I'm gonna scroll down. When you enter in your email, I'm gonna send you a gift right away. It's gonna be 2 ebooks.
Okay, so just saying on CA.
Dot the Miracle Lab. It's over on the screen.
CA dot.
themiraclelab.org. And I'll send you some resources too and positive affirmations. So now, as you're getting that, you'll see me come into your inbox as Miracle Lab, and we'll be connected. So I know y'all are wondering, Jules, can we talk about the brain tumor? What happened? Like, that was a great story and all. But don't leave us hanging. What happened? Like, are you gonna die right now? What's going on? You got a tumor? Tell me the business. So I go to India for back surgery. And I also go there because they have a procedure called gamma knife, which I'm a candidate for. So this gamma knife procedure state of the art. I go there and I get all the tests done, the scans done that you're supposed to get before you're going to have surgery. And they said, why are you here? I was like, to get the Gamma Knife procedure. And they were like, yeah, but here's the thing. Your scans are clear. That tumor is gone. Right next to my old scans where they could see that it was there. And now my new scans showing that it was gone. So y'all, this thinking, this way of being, this finding of joy, this following of joy, this calling out to love, this is all bringing forth the miracles that we're looking for, that we're needing, that we're calling out for. And when we do that, we can allow ourselves to trust that it's all working out as it should. When I was crying that day because of what those mean girls were saying in the stock room, I had no clue it was going to go like this. But it went the way it was supposed to go. And it's always going according to plan, even if we don't know the plans. And so we trust and we lean into that, and we know that all is well. So thank you so much for your time and your attention today. I pray that I have reminded you of your own joys and your own personal power. Amen. So here I am back again, so fast. So we're going to go into the meditation. And the meditation is my favorite meditation to do with the group. Oh, it's so powerful. Now, this meditation is inspired by my son Julian's book. If you haven't seen it, it's called You Are the Sky, right? So you are the sky. You are not your feelings. There's Julian. So in his book, the sky forgets it's the sky. The sky is holding on to the clouds, which are the feelings, okay? It's a beautiful story, and I'm not gonna ruin it with any spoiler alerts. That's all you're gonna get from me. But what I want you to do as we prepare for meditation is just have that idea in mind, that you are the sky, okay? So let's just settle in, get comfortable. Take some nice, easy breaths. Whatever feels good to you is exactly right. You're safe to close your eyes. You're safe to be in this moment. And so think about this idea that you are the sky. You are not your feelings. So as we go into our heart space, let's prepare our bodies. Allow yourself to take another nice deep breath in, breathing in all that this moment has for us. Exhaling and releasing everything else. Let's relax our face muscles. Your jaw might be clenched. Let's unclench it. Maybe roll your neck, roll your shoulders. Just allow yourself to relax and be held by the chair or the space that you're in right now. And as we go deeper into our heart space with every breath, our intention is to connect in this oneness. As we hold this idea in mind of you are the sky, let's think about what's filling the sky right now. Is there anything that's on your mind blocking the sky? And we'll just give that thought, that cloud, attention. We notice it, we acknowledge it, and then we allow it to float by. And as any thoughts come up, we just continue to do that. If there is a block right now, blocking love's presence, and we bring our attention to that. And in this moment, we remember that we can give this block over to the divine as an offering. We are not the clouds. We are the sky. And so just envision giving over these clouds, these blocks, to the divine, releasing them, allowing them to float by. Lighten your burden. Open your heart and feel that relief. Let's take a nice deep breath together. And exhale. One more time. And as we start to close our time of meditation, we can feel our body again. We can come up through our feet, kind of wiggle our toes, feel the ground if we're seated, and move that energy, that life force through and go up all the way, slowly up through your body, starting to wake up. You can start to wiggle your legs, move them around. When you get to your arms, you can move your arms around, maybe shake out your hands, roll your shoulders, roll your head. And when you're ready, open your eyes and return. And all is well. Amen.